everyone. Welcome back to ErikaBuilds and another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are in the world of Brychester, which is the world that came with Discover University, and I'm working on another tiny build. This time it's the Tier 3 small house under the tiny home category. And since the last tiny home that I did was for a teacher, it's just right down the street from this one, I thought it would be fun to do another teacher's house, but this time with a more modern look. The micro home that I built last week was definitely more of kind of like a little bit of it, had kind of an old-fashioned sort of classic look to it. So this teacher's home is going to be very modern, and I decided to make a townhouse because the existing structure that was on this lot, this is a 20 by 15 called Spring Steps. The townhouse that was here I demolished, and so I thought it made sense to build another townhouse. And so maybe it's a backstory of like an old townhouse that got bought and just kind of gutted and remodeled. That's sort of what I was thinking. And I went with a lot of sort of industrial elements. I have a lot of exposed brick and metal railings and things like that. So definitely more of a modern type design. I only had 100 squares to work with on this tier, so I had to be really careful. As you can see, I was kind of struggling at the beginning to even put stairs because my brain's not used to having to, control myself when it comes to placing too many tiles. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky, but as I just sort of dove into it, I didn't have a reference photo or anything. I just kind of played around with it and just to see what would happen. And so I ended up going with a lot of black along with the brick because I thought that gave it a very sort of gritty, I don't know, just industrial city type vibe, which I thought was very cool. And actually, I think what would be cool to do, since the lot right next door is also a townhouse, is maybe I'll make another industrial townhouse for that lot as well, so they're kind of be matching. This build has been done with quite a few things from Tiny Living, as well as some stuff from Discover University and a few other packs that are kind of my go-to packs for modern type builds. And I wanted to try to maximize the roof as well so that I could get some more living space in there. And then I did this sort of like winding staircase up the 3 levels. It takes up a lot of room. That's kind of the downside. But I thought the positives outweighed the negatives just because it was really just the type of look that I wanted to go for this townhouse. So as you come in on the first floor, you have the living room and the kitchen. And there's a little bar for like eating. And then on the second floor is the bedroom and bathroom, and then kind of like a little office alcove. And then on the top floor, which is the roof, there is a hot tub and some lounge chairs. So yeah, 3 levels. And then the funny thing is when you build these tiny houses, even when you use the very smallest lot, you always end up with like tons of yard space. And it was hard to think of something to put in the yard because this is just 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. So this is not a family, there's not kids living here. So all my kind of go-to things for the yard, like swing sets and stuff, I couldn't do any of that. So I ended up, sort of envisioning like a young teacher or maybe an older grad student or something that would live here. And that definitely helped me to think about what this townhouse would have. Here I started with the kitchen. I'm using the cabinets that are from Cool Kitchen Stuff and the appliances as well. So I kind of, I wasn't really sure if this was going to work, but I did play test it and it did work. I kind of made like a galley style kitchen, but then I tucked like part of it under the staircase. And I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it actually did work, surprisingly. So yeah, you can actually sit at a bar that's like under the stairs, which I thought turned out kind of cool. And then open to the kitchen is the living area, which I use the new couch and chair and tables that we got with Tiny Living. They're very, very cute. I'm sticking with a lot of black just because the windows and doors and stairs and railings are all black. So I kind of did a lot of black for like the furniture and stuff too. But then I had some accent colors in here thanks to those throw pillows that had like blue and yellow. And so I played off of those colors when I was choosing the lighting and the decor and stuff like that to kind of bring pops of color. You know, that's one thing with modern builds. You know, you try to keep it, if you're working on something that's industrial or something like that, but you want to introduce color as well. So I tried to give a good balance of modern and colorful. Yeah, there's kind of like a little entryway as well over by the front door where I did a little coat rack with a mirror and some umbrellas and stuff, like, you know, typical front door stuff. I actually used quite a few things from Moschino Stuff Pack as well, because that's really good for like modern type builds and apartments and townhouses and stuff like that. So again, it's a combination of lots of packs, and I'm just sort of, you know, trying to envision something that would be kind of youthful, I guess. I was thinking, you know, that whoever lived here was kind of like a cool teacher, maybe like a younger teacher. So yeah, it has a lot of those kind of elements. And I didn't think about it until I was done, but there would have been enough space to do like a dog or a pet of some sort in this townhouse, but I'm sorry, I didn't think of it until it was already done. But yeah, you could easily add like food bowls for a dog or a cat if you wanted to. Okay, so now we're upstairs on the second floor. Here's this kind of like little office alcove. I started with that bulletin board, but I ended up getting rid of it later and doing some windows there. But yeah, it's small, but you know, it had just enough room for the desk and the computer, and a little bit of decor and stuff. And I like it because it has some privacy. I mean, it is open to the like hallway area, but it does have some privacy. So if you have two Sims living here, you know, like a married couple or maybe a couple who's, you know, engaged or dating or something, it kind of gives them like two zones upstairs where if one's in the bedroom asleep or something, one could be out in the little office area working. So I was thinking about that. And then down here in the living room, I keep going back and forth with the colors. I'm sure any of you who watch my channel fairly regularly probably know that I'm always jumping around and changing my mind a million times about colors. So yeah, you just see a lot of black and white and yellow going on down here. And then I started working on the kitchen. For the decor in here, it's pretty much just my standard go-to type of kitchen decor. I'm keeping it fairly modern. Again, I'm remembering that there's no kids here, so you know, I'm just trying to make it feel sort of adult and grown up kitchen. And I was working on different kinds of lighting. I did some under cabinet lighting because I didn't want to have I really like these pendant lights that we got with Tiny Living, but I didn't want to have too many of them. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing, like, I don't like too many pendant lights because it starts to look like too much. So I was trying to hide some wall sconces and stuff to give other types of lighting. Yeah. So this was right around the time that I realized that I didn't have enough windows. So I decided to put some windows on the side of the house. I started with these long, skinny ones that are also from Get Famous. But the weird thing about these is the swatch does not match the double wide windows. I don't know why. Like, it's like a very dark black versus like a smoky, like dark gray. And that was bothering me. Big surprise. That was bothering me that it didn't match. So I ended up using some base game windows instead because they looked better. And then for the curtains, it's just those blinds that I used in the different sizes that matched those particular windows really well. Yeah. So, with modern builds, industrial builds, stuff like this, like you want to call it a townhouse or a loft or whatever, I always feel like windows are very important, and getting in a lot of natural light and things like that. So I was definitely thinking about that as I was working on this. And then for the back of the house, I started thinking about like some stairs, sort of like, it's obviously not a fire escape, but I kind of wanted it to have the vibe of a fire escape. So I did some turning stairs out the back that actually takes you from the second floor all the way down to the backyard, which I thought was kind of convenient because if you're in your bedroom and you decide you want to go swimming or hang out in the backyard, because there is a pool, you'll see that in a few minutes, and you decide you want to hang out outside, I just thought it'd be really convenient to have this staircase around the back. Plus, it's very industrial and modern, and it's vibing really well with like the townhouse itself, and so that's making me happy. And that's kind of the hardest thing when you're dealing with this sort of townhouse type build, because I couldn't add more tiles to like make bump, because normally I would maybe like bump out some walls and make some like different sized rooms and stuff to kind of give it more character, but since I couldn't really do that because I didn't have any more tiles to use, I thought the stairs were kind of a good way to add some character to the back of the house. Here you can see I was just pulling a car out of the debug, and working on doing like a little driveway area and stuff like that. This house has a really big yard. You could easily even add more things. I did a lap pool, like a really long, narrow pool. And then I did an outdoor bar, and I did a garden. But yeah, there was even room for more stuff if you wanted to have more stuff outside. This fencing, I believe, is from Perfect Patio Stuff. And I thought it was nice, the way it kind of coordinated with the black stairs and railings. Isn't that weird? You see that strange color? I don't know what happened there. I had to like take it off and start over. But yeah, so I thought it kind of coordinated well and had a nice modern look to it. Yeah, so oh, now you can see the hot tub. I think I paused the recording for just a little bit while I was working outside because it was taking some extra time. And that was when I added the hot tub up on the roof with the lounge chairs and stuff. Then I came back inside to keep working because I'm just back and forth between the interior and the exterior, getting everything good to go. This is a lot of stuff from Cool Kitchen stuff, and yeah, let's see, I did a microwave. I was gonna do a coffee pot and I ended up switching it out to a microwave, but if you don't want a microwave, you could easily just remove that and put a coffee pot instead. I couldn't make up my mind which one that I wanted to have. Here you're kind of getting a look at that little bar area that's tucked under the stairs again. For the wall colors, since that staircase is spiraling up all 3 stories, you can actually look down into all 3 stories from the top. So I wanted to make sure I had the same wallpaper because it wouldn't make any sense if like halfway down the stairwell it switched from paint to brick. So I made sure that that was all the same. And then upstairs in the bedroom, of course, I put the bed in the middle of the room because I want to make sure 2 Sims can sleep here. This bed, I believe, is from Seasons. I thought about using the new Murphy bed from Tiny Living Stuff Pack, but it really wouldn't make any sense to have that up here since it's like an actual bedroom and not like a living room that I need to make into a bedroom. So I didn't get to use that bed, but I did use the Tiny Living table there as a nightstand, and I used a chair from Tiny Living and the little poof. Oh, and then the combo unit of like the TV, bookcase, and stereo. You can see me pulling that out right now. I use that. So yeah, quite a lot of tiny living up here in this tiny bedroom. And it has a nice big bathroom too, so that's nice. And again, pops of color, lots of black and white with pops of color to kind of keep it youthful and colorful and, you know, kind of matching the theme of the downstairs as well as the upstairs. And that picture is also new from Tiny Living. So yeah, I'm taking advantage of all the tiny living stuff that I can. And that plant, I believe, is from Spa Day. Yeah, so Spa Day is a really good pack for modern builds. In fact, I use the kitchen cabinets from that quite often. I didn't for this house. I used cool kitchen stuff, but I did use Spa Day for the bathroom. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a mixture. And then this little chest is also from Tiny Living, which is nice because it's only one tile, so that didn't take up very much space. And since I had this really big window in the bathroom, I decided to do a tub because I just thought that seemed very relaxing to have the bathtub in front of the window. And this bathroom is mostly all black and white. Like I said, Spa Day mixed with Tiny Living. The bathtub and the toilet are Spa Day, and then the sink is from Tiny Living. And then the cabinet that you store everything in is from Seasons. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mixture. The only thing in this bathroom that kind of bugged me was I ended up using that Tiny Living wall decor piece that has like the towels and sponges and stuff hanging off of it. You'll see me put that up in a minute. The only thing that bugs me is it doesn't come in black. I don't understand, because in this pack for Tiny Living, we have a black swatch in all the other items, in the bedroom items, in the chairs, in the tables, in the couches, everything, except for that item. We didn't get black. So it's brown and it doesn't really match, but try not to look at it too much and just imagine that it's black. Yeah, so here I'm just adding a little bit of decor, and there is where I was going to put in the windows. I added 3 windows on the side, which actually helped really bring in a lot more natural light on that side of the house. Yeah, so this is almost the end of the build. What do you guys think of this townhouse? Do you like it? It's kind of a little bit plain from the outside. You know, like I said, I could only use 100 squares. But I tried to maximize the living space as much as I could so you get more bang for your buck on that Tiny Living stage 3 or tier 3 or whatever it's called. So yeah, let me know what you think of this build. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a comment and tell me what you think, or what you would like to see me build next. And you can follow me in the gallery. My ID is ErikaBuilds, and also Twitter and Instagram is ErikaBuilds as well. So yeah, that's going to do it for today, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you all again next time. Bye-bye.